everyone, welcome back to Persian Vibes. Today we're gonna talk about one of the most confusing but also most interesting parts of Persian grammar, the little word ra. So if you've ever heard Persians say things like kitab ra khandam or man to ra didam, you've already met ra. Okay, so but what exactly is it? When do we use it? And when can we leave it out? So let's find out step by step. So first, ra is called the object marker in Persian. That means we use it to show what the action of the verb is happening to. So in English, we usually know the object because of the word order. For example, we say, I read the book. Okay? We know the book is the thing that we read. But in Persian, we can also tell what's the object, but we use ra to mark it more clearly. So I read the book in Persian is Man kitab ra khandam. So let's break it down. Man means I, kitab means a book, khandam means I read, and ra connects book to the verb. So man kitab ra khandam. So kitab ra khandam literally means the book I read. So now notice something interesting. If you just say man kitab khandam without ra, it is still grammatically correct, but it feels a little bit different. Without ra, it's more general, like saying I read a book. Okay? But if you say man kitab ra khandam, it becomes more specific, like I read the book. So ra adds a sense of a specificity or something like that. That's a key idea to remember. We use ra when we are talking about a specific things or person that both the speaker and listener know about. Okay, so ra, that little word. Let's look at more examples. Like I saw Jack. In Persian we say man Jack ra didam. If I say man Jack ra didam without ra, man Jack didam, it sounds okay and fast, but in casual speech. But in standard Persian, we prefer to say like Jack ra. Or I ate the apple. Man sib ra khordam. Here sib means apple, and by adding ra, we are saying it's a specific apple. Maybe the one we talked about before. Okay, so let's test this idea. If I just say man sib khordam, it means I ate an apple. If I say man sib ra khordam, it means I ate the apple. So ra helps us make that small but important. Okay, and you can understand what is general and what is like more specific. Now ra always comes after the object, not before. So we don't say ra kitab, we say kitab ra. And that's one of the biggest differences between Persian and English word order. And also remember, ra only comes after definite, specific objects, but after indefinite ones, not after indefinite ones, okay? So let's practice with a few sentences. Repeat after me. Man film ra didam. I watched the movie. Man پسر را شناختم. I knew the boy. من این خانه را دوست دارم. I love this house. Each of these has a specific object, okay? The movie, the boy, this house, and that's why we need ra, okay? So, but here is something very important, I can say. We don't use ra with every object, okay? So sometimes when the object is very general, or when we talk about things in general, we drop ra, okay? So we don't use it. For example, I like cats. I like Persian, that's من گربه دوست دارم. Okay, من گربه دوست دارم. We don't say گربه را here because we're not talking about specific cats. Okay, we're talking about cats in general. Okay, but if I say من این گربه را دوست دارم, which means I like this cat, a specific one. And now we use ra. So remember that. So again, ra for specific, and when there is no ra, so it's general. And another common mistake many learners make is using ra after a verb like to have. For example, من کتاب دارم, okay, which means I have a book. You can't say من کتاب را دارم because in Persian, ra doesn't appear with the verb to have. Okay, why? Maybe you're asking like why? Because there is no action happening to the object. It's a state actually, not an action. The same rule applies to بودن, to be. You never say من دکتر را هستم. That's wrong. Just من دکتر هستم. Or من دختر را هستم. من دختر هستم. Now let's make it more fun and natural. Listen to these two sentences and tell me which one sounds more specific. So I'm gonna say them now. 1. من کتاب خواندم. 2. من کتاب را خواندم. Exactly the second one. And if I say من سیب خوردم versus من سیب را خوردم, you can feel that ra as focus. It tells us which apple, the one we already know. Okay, if you say من سیب را خوردم. Now in a spoken Persian, especially in casual conversations, Persian people sometimes drop the ra to sound more, more natural and use o instead. So instead of saying من کتاب را خواندم, people say من کتاب را خواندم, or من تو را دیدم becomes من تو را دیدم. So remember, ra is the same as o in a speech. That's the colloquial version. And when you write or speak formally, say ra. And when you talk with friends, you can use just o. So in informal situation, we just say من این رو دیدم. Let's do a quick practice together. So try to guess where ra should go. So I saw the teacher. من معلم رو دیدم. Right, من معلم رو دیدم. I drank the tea. من چای رو خوردم. That's right, من چای را خوردم or من چای رو خوردم. Perfect. So last one, I like apples. من سیب دوست دارم. No ra here because it's general. So من سیب دوست دارم. So if you're talking in general, we don't use ra. So let's try a mini story using ra. So I'm gonna say it like, yesterday I went to the market. I bought an apple. The apple was red. I ate the apple. So in Persian it means دیروز به بازار رفتم مغازه. یه سیب خریدم. سیب قرمز بود. سیب رو خوردم or سیب را خوردم. Notice how we don't actually mention that one in the first one. Like the first part we just said سیب, este, an apple. Okay, and the second part we just said the apple. So first one, سیب را خوردم. یه سیب خریدم. Okay, in the second one we just say سیب را خوردم. So the second part, when we say I eat the apple, it's more specific. So that's the magic of ra in Persian. It's a tiny word, but it tells a lot about how we think in Persian. About a specificity, focus, and known information. So now let's review everything before we finish. We use ra to mark the object of the verb when it's specific or known. So it comes after the object. We don't use it with a to be or to have. Okay, please remember that. And in spoken Persian, it often becomes like oh. So keep practicing with your own examples like من فیلم را دیدم. من سیب را خوردم or من او را شناختم. Say them out loud a few times until it feels natural. Okay? So, and I can say that's it for today. And now you know how to use one of the most important little words in Persian, ra. If you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Persian Vibes for more fun and easy Persian lessons. And see you in the next video. So, خداحافظ. Bye.